Hi everyone, welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Laura and I'm a landscape artist. My channel is about the process, teaching, and sharing my little studio world and life as a self-taught artist. This video is about a piece that I finished last year called Bedrock. It's the largest soft pastel landscape I've ever worked on, and this is the journey of how it came together. I'm gonna pop in and out of this voiceover thing to share some insights and provide some context along the way, but until then, I hope you sit back, relax, and enjoy watching. The start of this process is mostly about convincing myself that this is gonna work out. This was my second attempt at this landscape. I had ruined the first one and just had to throw it out. So I actually was a bit nervous here because I didn't have more than a few sheets of paper at this size, and so I didn't want to keep having to toss them. I'm starting off this piece with sort of a quick mapping of the whole landscape just to make sure that I've gotten the right pastels in front of me, that my values work together, that my drawing makes sense, just to make sure that it's all gonna look okay and to avoid getting too deep into one small part of the piece before checking that the thing works as a whole. So here I'm making sure that my highlight, which is in this case the sky, matches the mid-tones and the darker values of like the shadows and the trees and the rocks and then a little bit of the water, and just sort of, I guess, getting to know the landscape a little bit more. I had been working with it for a while on Procreate, and obviously in my first attempt that didn't work out, but this for me is a good way to start, especially something so large. Around here is where I started to get a little bit discouraged. I'd never worked on anything this large before, and I can see that I'm not even close to being done, and that there are still so many more decisions that need to be made. So I was just starting to feel a little bit tired, and it was time to take a break. This piece was inspired by a day trip to Killbear Provincial Park, which is just a few hours north of Toronto on Georgian Bay. I'd never been there before, and I was blown away by how beautiful it was. It's just full of windswept pines growing out of the Canadian Shield along the water, like so Ontario, and I knew that I was going to have to paint it one day. I spent such a long time on the rocks. They're easily my favorite part of the piece, and I really enjoy just carving them out of the paper like a sculptor. I'm working on a sheet of Sennelier La Carte pastel paper here, which is one of my favorite papers for pastel, and I really love the color of the paper for this particular landscape, and I'm trying to be very intentional about letting the paper show through the pastel. So yep, I did do that. I totally forgot to turn the camera on, and you'll just have to imagine how the rest of this piece came together. I'm very proud of this piece, and I learned a couple of things along the way. Number one, working large takes patience, grit, and lots of breaks. And number two, you absolutely need to step back and evaluate the piece as a whole, because it is so easy to get bogged down in the details up close. And that's how Bedrock came to be. There is a lot more that I could have said about this process, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I'd be happy to answer them. I should say that there are prints available on my website of Bedrock. I make my prints myself. More about that in another video perhaps, but it's available in multiple different sizes, so go check that out if that interests you. And lastly, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you liked this video. Please say hi in the comments down below. Leave me some feedback. I'm very new to YouTube, so anything is very helpful at this point. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.